Boom. Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about a couple of space plays that I'm personally very bullish on at the moment. In the wake of Jeff Bezos and his company Blue Origin's successful test flight this morning, which we will watch a short video of, I'm very bullish on the performance of the space sector of the market right now. The optics are great. Investor sentiment appears to be overall positive. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about why I am bullish on the two names we're going to be discussing today, and of course talk some bullish price targets as well. Okay, so let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over the topics we'll be discussing and then we'll dive in. So in front of us, Trading View, where once again we will be talking technicals and price targets on the two names that I mentioned in the title today. The only two names that we are going to be talking about. Kicking it off with SPCE, or Virgin Galactic, pretty much the poster child for the space sector of the stock market right now. So keeping it basic, but following this significant pullback that we've seen over the past week or so, the buy the hype, sell the news event, that was kind of to be expected in my opinion, but I do foresee at the very least a very promising bounce ahead, and if certain critical levels of resistance are broken on the charts, then I think another rally could be ahead of us as well. So kick it off with SPCE, then move on to MAXR, or Maxar Technologies. This is a satellite play, all right, and the more I've dug into the stock, the more bullish I get on it. This has also seen a pretty significant pullback over the past couple of months following the initial hype around space stocks, and I'm very, very bullish on this stock, both fundamentally and technically. So of course we will dive into why that is. Once we dive into the charts here, I do have a complimentary article that I want to share with you guys regarding Maxar as well, titled Morgan Stanley sees nearly 50% upside in the satellite stock. Spoiler, that satellite stock is Maxar Technologies. And this Morgan Stanley analyst just goes over a few short reasons as to why he's personally bullish and why he sees, as again, a very bullish price target, 50% potential upside for this stock personally. And once we dive into the charts, it'll make sense why technically that makes sense as well. Okay, so Maxar, those are the only two names once again we will be talking about. Before we dive into any of it, I do want to quickly just watch this short video, okay? If you guys didn't happen to catch this, I just randomly woke up at 3 a.m. this morning and could not sleep, turned on YouTube for the first time, and I can't even remember the last time I did that was, and I completely forgot that this happened at 3 a.m. Hawaii time. So I was super pumped to catch the live stream like 3 minutes before launch, and this was just so cool to see in real life. Bezos, as I've said many times, is one of the most valuable, obviously the richest man on earth. He became the richest man for providing an insane amount of value to humanity through Amazon, and I love what he's doing here. And this was just so sick to watch, especially considering I was in an absolute daze while watching it. So it made it that much more that much more dramatic in a good way. Okay, so we'll just watch a short 2-minute video from the New York Times, nice edited down, and just get excited for, again, the sentiment and the optics and the marketing opportunity that this created, not only for Blue Origin, but for the space, just space travel, space tourism, space exploration, not only sector of the stock market, but just in general. Okay, so very exciting here. We'll kick off the video with that. Before we do that, though, I do want to read for you guys the short intro to the newsletter I sent out this morning, of course, the portfolio newsletter group, just to quickly give you guys my frame of thoughts this morning as we were watching how the market was reacting to kind of this space play and the overall bounce we saw in the market today as well. Okay, so let's read over this and then we'll dive into all the other good stuff. Okay, so it's Tuesday, and it is a big day for the fam. The markets are bouncing back and the portfolio is bouncing back even harder. I still remain a bit suspect on the equity indices, a little sus. I won't be playing direct hedges, but I've gone even harder on the sectors that I believe will thrive regardless of a potential pullback elsewhere. These two sectors are, of course, you guys know this, EVs and space. I'm not sure if you guys caught Bezos flying into space this morning on the first manned flight of his space company Blue Origin, but it was pretty sweet. I'm not going to read this just because I pretty much told you guys that. Recap on YouTube. This was one small step for billionaires, but one massive step for space stocks in my eyes. It said, made the following trades, not going to get into those, but again, you guys, this is one small step for billionaires. Actually, one big step. I don't want to discount the gravity. Pun not intended, but solid pun there. The gravity of the situation and the steps they're taking. But again, massive step for the space sector of the stock market, in my opinion, okay? As always, before we get into it, got to do the housekeeping. If you guys do want a complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, if you want to know exactly how I'm not only trading plays like Space and Maxar, but the MVP, God, it felt so good to watch CCIV just absolutely rip today. CCIV soon to be Lucid Motors this Friday, hopefully, like absolutely ripped. Largest position in my portfolio, so this was beautiful. But not only this, again, plays like QuantumScape, Workhorse, Helion, ChargePoint, Blink, all the EV plays, exciting EV plays, biotech plays as well. Cryptocurrency plays, finally, for the first time today, averaged back in some of my USDC, some of my liquid into Ether. Felt so good to do that. So if you guys want to know exactly when I'm doing all of this, exactly what my portfolio is comprised of, first link down below, 15 bucks a month. Really appreciate it if you guys check that out. Of course, or 15 bucks or 40 bucks every 3 months, I guess. And of course, you do get the complete breakdown of my entire portfolio. Again, updated every single trading day during market hours. Send out one of these bad boys. Below all this is the trades I made today, rationalizing those trades, throwing in some real-time charts with real-time price targets, giving you guys all of the information that I feel is necessary for you to know if you guys are kind of following along with the portfolio journey, all right? And of course, you also get the exclusive Sunday stock watch as well. Private link to that on YouTube. So once again, 15 bucks a month really means a lot if you guys check that out. But if not, no worries at all. I appreciate you watching this video right now, giving me your sweet time. Okay, so let's kick off the video with a little fun. Do a little like it was always so sick in class growing up when you would watch a video. Obviously, you guys can just go YouTube this for yourself. It's not super necessary, so you can skip ahead 2 minutes if you don't want to watch this. But the Amazon founder and 3 others lifted off in Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft, fulfilling a goal more than 20 years in the making. So this is, again, you guys, this is just sick to see. So let's play this. We'll just watch through this little watch party, and then we'll dive in, okay? So again, if you guys don't want to watch this, just skip ahead 2 minutes, and it's all good. Talk some technicals and fundamentals as well. So I'm not going to do much commentary here. We're literally just going to watch this. Let me know down below if you guys watch this live again. It was like 3 a.m. my time, so it's very unpractical. But by some weird stroke of, I would say, luck and insomnia, I managed to catch this like perfect timing. So that felt super good. Gonna be honest, when the countdown hit, I was sweating. My palms are sweating a little bit. I was like, Bezos, this better be successful. Obviously pessimistic, but who wasn't thinking it? Like, you can't not think of the possibility that it might have not gone well, and like just played out the terrible visual in your mind. I definitely did, again, especially because I just woke it up and I was kind of in a weird mind state. But let me know if you guys played that situation out in your mind as well watching this live. So that was crazy, but that's just speaks to the feat of human engineering that we can just launch stuff up like that and re-land it. That's insane. This was cool. I didn't know how. I was so curious as to how they're going to initiate this. Obviously, parachutes make sense, but that style of parachute, how there's kind of 3 parachutes like that, I'm definitely commentating this. But those 3 parachutes, it's cool how they frame that. I wasn't aware that that's how they did that. But also, let me know if you guys watched how hard that capsule hit the ground. When I saw that capsule hit the ground, they had the MPH, the mile per hour, on the side. Bezos, dude, shout out the king. But they had the MPH on the side, the miles per hour gauge on the side. It was really cool watching that go up. They were going like 2,500 miles per hour at one point. But coming down, as they hit the ground, they're going like 16 miles an hour, which is a pretty strong impact. So again, you guys, that was just to get us pumped. Let's close that out so no other videos kind of distract us and lag us up. But let me know if you guys watch that down below. Once again, one solid step for the billionaire space race, one massive step for space stocks. So that's a little counterintuitive. We're looking at this chart. Virgin fell today, closed the day out almost flat, but kicked off the day kind of down. Okay, it was like down like what, 5-6% at one point in the trading day. And personally, again, shout out Portfolio Newsletter Group, I took strong advantage of that. I definitely took advantage of that dip we saw today because I foresee a very significant bounce ahead, okay? So get rid of this. That will get a little distracting. Very, simple reason that I do foresee a bounce. So right now we are evidently in a technical downtrend. Again, all this happened in preparation for Branson going to space. Been saying this in the Discord, been saying it in the newsletters for the weeks leading up to that. A lot of people were excited. Again, very exciting. I don't want to discount the gravity of and the coolness of what these billionaires are doing, what Branson, what Bezos are doing. But this was a very obvious buy the hype, sell the news event, in my opinion. Regardless, saw that happen, started the downtrend, really volatile for a week or so here, prior to absolutely falling off a cliff. So in the span of like a week, let's get a quick price range. This is already on price range. From this high right here, from July 9th to the low on July 19th. So over the course of 10 days, Virgin fell almost 50%, almost got cut in half, which is absolutely insane. But I was stoked to see this because I've been wanting Virgin, but these levels way up here, like at 50-60 bucks, are just way out of like definitely out of my personal buy range. Like maybe long term, that's a good pickup point. But I was waiting for 35 bucks, ended up establishing a large position at about 33. Today, established even more, which is nice on that dip down to like 31, like 31 and a half bucks. So super promising here, and that's because I foresee a very short-term bounce playing in. So again, it's in a short-term downtrend. That's no doubt. Touch point here, touch point here, touch point here. This trend line is most definitely in play. And I do think at the very least, Virgin or SPCE will see a short-term bounce. And by short-term, I'm talking like maybe 2 weeks max. I do have this price target drawn July 30th. So by the end of next trading week, the last Friday prior to August, I believe the first trading Monday of August is going to be August 2nd. So just say by the beginning of August, I do think that this will be tested. Again, the optics surrounding space right now are great. I think a lot of people thought that the successful Blue Origin flight is bearish for space. And that's weird to me because obviously Blue Origin, which I'm not doubting is going to be a better company in the long term, a more valuable company than Virgin Galactic. SpaceX, obviously, if SpaceX was trading, it would probably be doing well today as well. But they're not. They're still on the private markets. The only space play you can play right now in space tourism, not the only one, but again, like the poster child for the space sector of the stock market is Virgin Galactic, is ticker symbol SPACE. So this is what's going to be trading when sentiment is high, okay? That's what you have to think about is investor sentiment. What are investors overall net optimistic about the space sector, about the sex of space, but are they optimistic on the space sector of the market? I would think so. Again, today I feel like there was just some weird negative hype, or just like anticipated negative hype, not negative hype by any means, but like the anticipation of like, oh, this is a competitor to Virgin Galactic did well. That means that's bearish for space. But ultimately, I think because space is once again the poster child for the space sector of the market right now, that if sentiment is overall bullish on space, then space stock should probably appreciate in value. Okay, so at the very least, if we do test the line of resistance on the short-term downtrend by the beginning of August, that would take a Virgin Galactic or space to $43.50, 44 bucks. Call it a conservative $42 price target, just because a lot of investors are going to be eyeballing this range. So again, $32 to 42 bucks, you're looking at a potential like 30% increase right there, which is an amazing bounce. And again, if this level is broken, if we can break, just to play it super safe, if space can break $45 by August 1st and close a daily candle, close a 4-hour candle, I'd take that. Definitely close a daily candle above $45 by August 1st. We are going to be in official breakout mode, and I foresee potentially new all-time highs beyond that, okay? I know Virgin Galactic announces earnings on August 5th. I have to imagine it's going to be better than their last earnings. We can scroll down right here. $7.7 billion market cap. I mean, pretty reasonable for the long term, especially in this market environment. And again, especially considering it's the poster child for the space sector. Last earnings were extremely disappointing. So they disappointed by double the estimates, which is very, very bad, of course. But I have to imagine this one's going to be better. If they even meet earnings or if they exceed earnings, then I think the rally is inevitable. If they meet earnings, then I think the stock will still do well, once again, just because optics are good. But again, the next earnings call is slated for August 5th, so keep a close eye out for that, all right? Once we break this, we will, of course, be talking about Virgin Galactic and these space stocks. I have a few other space stocks that I'm eyeballing as well. We'll definitely debut those in the newsletter and portfolio over the coming days. But as this sector continues, if I'm going to say when it continues to perform well, we'll definitely be making more videos on this and talking updated price targets over time, okay? So stay tuned for that. Let's move on to the second name we're going to be talking about. That is Maxar Technologies, or MAXR. This looks great on the charts. And again, just moving out here, let's quickly go to the daily candle, just to get a little more macro. I mean, I love to see this from a macro perspective right here. Definitely went harder on my Maxar Technologies position today as well. Again, shout out portfolio. And I'm very excited about this, okay? So we'll talk technicals here. God, the daily Stokes just curling up. We're seeing that organic volume come back. I love the look of this chart right now. And okay, we'll talk technicals to close out the video, but let's read through this quickly and again, just get an idea of what Maxar Technology is, and again, why this Morgan Stanley and actually JP Morgan, I believe, where was it? We'll get into it. Let's just read it. So, Morgan Stanley began coverage of Maxar Technologies with an overweight rating, seeing a 50% climb for the space stock in the year ahead. We are seeing, this is a quote, We see revenue growth accelerating as the company launches its Legion constellation of satellites. Margin expansion opportunity is evident as its space infrastructure business stabilizes and diversifies into the U.S. government market, Morgan Stanley analyst Matthew Sharp wrote in a note to investors on Thursday. Morgan Stanley has a $50 price target on Maxar shares, just below the $52 price target Goldman Sachs gave the stock last month. So if there's two very reputable banks, which means that pretty reputable analysts, I don't want to say anyone's definitively reputable, but I mean Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs analysts are probably pretty solid. $50 price target and $52 price target. You round those two together, $51 price target. I think it's possible, and again, that will make sense as we dive into the charts. But that's very bullish just from an analyst perspective. The Pentagon and U.S. intelligence agencies are a key revenue stream for Maxar's Earth imagery business. Morgan Stanley Sharp highlighted the shares drop after Maxar delayed the launch of its new Worldview Legion satellites from the third quarter to the fourth quarter of this year, 2021. But the analyst believes the recent sell-off is overdone. Revenue growth should improve as the company's planned Worldview Legion constellation begins to come online later this year, Sharp said. These satellites will fill unmet demand, and we expect them to contribute 10% revenue growth by 2023. Additionally, Sharp wrote that Maxar's space infrastructure business has been under-earning with losses in both the last 2 years. Morgan Stanley expects the business should return to profitability in the near future after Maxar made changes to the unit structure and a more disciplined approach to bidding for contracts to build spacecraft and satellites. Quote, "The path to margin expansion is an easy one," Sharp added. Okay, so again, you guys, Maxar, maybe one day if Maxar really starts ripping, we will do the whole look at the website and stuff, do a good old solo analysis for Maxar. But for now, you guys, satellites, if you guys watched the Waves Weekly I posted last weekend talking about the billionaire space race and just the future of space, satellites are a huge component. And at this point in time, like space tourism, space travel, space exploration, more recreationally, is a lot more story stock at the moment. If you're actually trading a stock based off that and financials and whatnot, it's a lot more story stock. It's a lot more dreamy. But if you're talking about tangible goods, if you're talking about actual fundamentals being implemented into space infrastructure right now, satellites is the primary. Is the primary physical good and kind of export when you're talking about space at the moment. Okay, so very, very bullish on Maxar. Looking here, Maxar peaked in January of this year at almost $60. Since then, we have seen a correction totaling bottoming out in mid-May, really seeing a capitulation phase right here before popping back off, but correcting over 50% in a stock that has so much potential longer term. 50% correction after a pretty chill, so Maxar, will zoom out here just to show you guys the gauge of Maxar. It makes sense that we kind of bottomed out here. Again, this initial high of the rally way back in August of 2020, so almost a year ago now. Initial high found recently in May of this year, once again found a nice base on this initial high almost a year ago, based out. And again, this looks like a lot of price appreciation, and it is objectively, but in this market environment, with all the positive optics around space right now, I think that at these levels that we're at right now, especially after yesterday's pullback, Maxar dropped like 15% at one point yesterday. I bagged up on Maxar on yesterday's pullback. Today we popped 4%. That's nice, but similar to SPCE, I foresee a bounce at the very least, and I do foresee some very, very promising price action if a very key level of resistance is broken, which is where this target is drawn right here. So evidently, since its high back in January, we have been in a downtrend. Just simply using these trend lines, using the peak, and then this touch point right here, which is Maxar's quarterly high, we'll say, on June 25th. So not too long ago, we created this line of resistance on the overall downtrend. So right now as well, if you're talking shorter term, Maxar is technically, if we do not go lower right now than 27.80, just say $28 to play it safe. If we do not go lower than $28, we are still technically setting a higher low on the reversal, and I do think that there's definitely more upside ahead. Okay, so first level, short-term level, I'm going to be looking at this target is drawn similar to space on August 3rd. So first trading week of August, if we come up to test the overall line of resistance, on the overall longer-term downtrend, that would take Maxar to just under $39, conservative price target of $38. Conservatively as well, if Maxar by early August can break $40, it will have officially broken out. It will have officially broken the line of resistance, and this is a very strong line of resistance because it's a long-term line of resistance. If this is broken, we will be in technical short-term breakout mode, and I do think that if we do see that, Maxar will probably come to test this strong trend line on the current short to medium-term rally beginning in late May. Okay, when after the bottom out, after the capitulation, when we really started taking back off. Okay, so again, this line has been used as both resistance as support. Once it broke the support, it really tanked. So you know this trend line is going to be in play. TA 101, previous support will act as new resistance. If overall resistance, if long-term resistance is broken, this red line right here, once again, $40 by early August, I think we're on our way to retest previous short-term support as new short to medium-term resistance. We'll say that. And if we hit that by wherever the end of this, August 30th, by the end of next month, that will take us to $55 for Maxar. So not out of the realm possibility at all. Again, if the greater markets, if the S&P, if the NASDAQ, if the Dow, if the mega caps, like Netflix just announced earnings right before I started recording this video, they disappointed. Like, numbers are good. Revenue growth is, but I think signups were good, but I believe they missed on revenue growth. I just skimmed it. I'm not going to act like I completely looked into the the report. But again, if capital flows, the point of me saying that is if capital flows out of mega cap stocks like Netflix, hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap in these stocks. That's hundreds of billion. That's not hundreds of billions of dollars, but that's tens of billions of dollars probably. If you see significant corrections in these names, that's tens of billions of dollars that will want to fly to other areas of the market that show a lot more promise. And Maxar, with a $2.3 billion market cap, $10 billion flowing into Maxar. I'm not going to say that this is going to happen, you guys. It's all just, again, hypothetical. It's just to kind of reiterate the overall point, the overall principle of what I'm saying. If $1 billion floods into Maxar, that's a very, very significant, that's a 50% price increase right there, okay, in the share price. So just think about it like that. And again, pretty much from every angle, as I said before we even dived into this chart, on the daily, I am seeing this daily Stokes, the daily Stokes curl up, and that usually means that a pretty solid span of upside is probably waiting ahead of us, okay? So very bullish here. I will be making a video tomorrow, of course, on the EV sector, CCIV popping off again on Friday. We are supposed to see LCID here instead of CCIV. Personally, biggest position in my entire portfolio at this moment in time. So love to see the price action that we saw today. Very bullish for the week, for the days and weeks that lie ahead of us. I think it's going to be a buy the hype, buy the news event. So very excited for EVs, very excited for space. Please let me know down below which of these sectors you're bullish on. If you're not bullish on these, please let me know which sector of the market you're personally the most bullish on. But let me know what your favorite space stock is. That's the theme of this video, is space. So we'll stick with that. What is your favorite space stock in the entire market right now if you are trading space? And if you're not, please let me know if you enjoyed this video and you might start trading space from here on. All right, so I'll catch you guys downstairs in the comments. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, guys.